Hey, they're going to play the national anthem, so play a few more commercials, okay? A couple more. Thanks. Okay. Okay, we're ready.
We would like to welcome our opponents, the Patriots of West Elk High School. This competition is being conducted according to the rules.
Well, welcome back. Dan Vitt alongside Mike McCracken. National anthem played. Now we're getting ready to go over starting lineups. What do you look for the keys to be tonight, Mike?
Well, I think keys for St. Paul are going to be to try and keep the offense on the field as much as they can, minimize any turnovers, and hopefully they'll be able to have a good night, put some points on the board. On the other side of the ball, obviously the key for every game, if you're playing St. Paul, is going to be try and contain Adam Albertini, and that's a tall order no matter who's on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll watch for Adam, see what he can do tonight. We'll also watch Easton Dent. You know, whenever you go play somewhere, everyone's going to be keying on your back that's getting all the yards, and that's Albertini. So that could free up Easton Dent and the Bradshaw boys as well.
The Indians got a hold of Hill here tonight. Gibb Carter not playing here tonight, but Ivan Murillo looks to be suited back out, Mike. He's been nursing a hamstring injury. Tried to play the first week, set out since then. He only played about a couple kickoff or a couple series there that first ball game, Mike, and his hamstring bothering him. So look for him to be a factor to get back in the game here tonight.
Yeah, we'll need good production from Ivan tonight, and hopefully that hamstring is going to be something in the past. Well, those are things that sometimes can sneak back in and bug you for a while. Hopefully his couple weeks of rest that he has got that thing healed up for him.
Look for the wet field to be a factor. For both teams, you don't want to have any turnovers. You want to keep control of the football on a night here like tonight with the wet conditions. It's not raining or drizzling like it had been all day long, but it's like a morning dew out there.
It is. It's like a heavy dew. I took a walk across the field, and that grass is just sopping wet out there, so it might be a little slick.
Plenty of humidity in the air, but not terribly hot, Mike. Cloud cover, basically no wind, just a little bit of maybe of a southwest wind here, but the wind is a non-factor. So look for it to be the field's going to be in great condition with the Bermuda field. It is not muddy. It's going to be just right for playing football, although the grass is going to be wet and stay wet all night long.
Yeah, that'll be something to keep an eye on. That'll make that ball slick, if nothing else. You may be able to get your footing down, but every time they put that ball on the grass, either way, whether it's tackled or setting it for the next play, it's going to be wet.
These non-district games, they're important but not important, and I don't want to say non-important because each game is important as far as being competitive and working towards district play, but all important district play starts next week, Mike.
Yeah, it's always what you're working for, and next year there's a chance that because of the way the districts are set up, some things could change, so we'll see how that shakes out. But this is the second of a 2-year contract again with West Elk, and it remains to be seen how that's going to be impacted. So it's possible we may not be able to see the Patriots again. That's been a good rivalry.
Yeah, it's hard telling about districts and enrollment where you will be, whether Division I or Division II. The Indians will probably stay in Division II, but West Elk, depending on whether they drop to 1 or 2, they probably may or may not be on our schedule again next year. And whenever we do set a schedule, it'll be a 2-year schedule. So this year, the last 2-year schedule, Mike, I've enjoyed it a lot more than the 2 years previous to that, because we ended up going dang near to Nebraska twice in that non-conference ball games, and in our district games, we had a lot of travel time. Since we moved to Division II, it's been a lot more favorable as far as bus rides. Although, you know, Sedan and Wichita Live Prep's a pretty good road trip, but that's a non-conference game, and you got to do what you got to do to fill those.
Yeah, good news is the Indians home the next 3 weeks in a row, so that'll be nice to have a little home time.
Exactly right. Is West Elk is here at St. Paul September the 20th. The 27th, Crest comes to St. Paul, the first district game, and then October the 4th, Altoona Midway at St. Paul, homecoming for the Indians. And then after that, the 11th at Marmaton Valley, the 18th, Chitopa at St. Paul. That is Parents' Night. And then October the 25th at Southern Coffee County. And then the 31st, you start into bracket play in the playoffs.
Yeah, looks like West Elk's going to receive the opening kick here. We're about to get underway.
If you make the playoffs.
If you make the playoffs.
So how it works is a 6-team district. You got to be one of the 2 top teams in that 6-team district. So look for the Indians to work their way towards district play and through district play and try to make another playoff berth and try to make a run into the playoffs. I see the Parsons Sun here and the television station. So a little TV time for the Indians here tonight and West Elk Patriots.
Yeah, you start winning some games and putting some numbers on the board, you start getting more and more of that coverage, and can't let it be a distraction, but it's nice to get some exposure.
Indians kickoff team huddled around Coach Watrick, getting ready to take the field. West Elk will receive the opening kick at the west end of Miles Field. Going back deep is Marino and number 18. Is that 18, Mike? It is 18. I don't even have one on our program. So we may have to ask who that is, Mike. See if you can get.
All right, I'll see what I can find out.
See if Keith may know there. Back deep is Marino and number 18 for the Patriots. Murillo, that's good. Okay, number 10. Maybe it just looks like an 18 and it's 10. Murillo's kick is a high driving kick. It's going to be right to Marino. Marino takes it about the 3-yard line. Starts to his left, now up the middle, has a little daylight. Down the sideline he goes, trying to stiff arm, drugged down by Bradshaw. Chase Bradshaw drags him down. Good field position for the Patriots. They will start 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Marino, seeing a little gap, got through it. Chase Bradshaw pushes him to the sideline, knocks him out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 Patriots from their own 32. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Loudermilk under center. Fullback is, I believe, Branch. Marino is the tailback. Here comes the snap. It's Marino around the left side, trying the left side, pushing towards the sideline, drugged down by Chandler. Bradshaw not till about a 3-yard gain for Marino, trying to get to the edge. Mike, if you can catch it, I think it is 24 is the fullback, Tyndall.
Yep, it's Tyndall.
Again, white jerseys with red letters, a little bit hard. 8s looks like 0s and vice versa. Up to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down, and call it 8. Call it a gain of 2 or 2.5 yards. Just underway here in the first quarter. First drive for either team. Number 25, Branch in the fullback position. Marino at tailback. It's going to be a handoff to Marino. Tries the right side. Gets back towards the middle. Going to be drove down by Bradshaw. Initial hit put in there by Murillo, I believe. Nope, Easton Dent. From that linebacker position is going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. Call it 4 for the Patriots. They are up to their own 37-yard line. They need to get to the Indian 38 for a 1st down. Last week was a little adjustment for me, Mike. 100-yard football field last week.
I was out of town, didn't get back in time. I got to listen, though, and boy, it sounded like it was a track meet.
Loudermilk in the pistol this time. Marino set to his right. He's going to run it around the right side. He's going to be corralled and broke down by the Indians. No gain on the play. As a matter of fact, a loss on the play. Looks like Wilson Smith, Austin O'Hare, and Bradshaw, Chandler Bradshaw, all in on that. It's going to bring the 4th down and 7 for the Patriots. See what they elect to do at their own 35-yard line. Good start for the Indians defense here. Back in punt formation is Loudermilk. Devin Loudermilk, 6'2", 160-pound junior. Now Albertini backs up to about his own 15. High snap. Loudermilk brings it down. Good high drive and punt Albertini's just going to let it bounce. It's going to bounce out of bounds at the 19-yard line of the Indians. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 19. So see what the Indians' first offensive possession. See if they can get a good offensive possession here started. 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 19.5-yard line. 10:26 left to go here in the first quarter. No score. West Elk 3 and out on their first drive. Stone King comes up to the line of scrimmage over center. Now Chandler Bradshaw, Hayden Smith come wide to the left. 2 receivers wide left. In the pistol is Albertini. Now Dent goes in motion. Now here comes Albertini around this left side. He's got a lot of run room. Down the sideline he goes. Tries to cut back to the middle. Nice run on first down. Good lead blocking by the Indians. It's going to be a gain of 10, 20 yards on first down. Give Albertini 20. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Albertini reached down to get his shoe back on, I believe. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball sets right on the 40. Albertini got to the edge. Same formation. Albertini in the pistol. 2 receivers wide to the right this time. Dent set to the left. Now Dent goes in motion right to, or left to right. Albertini's going to keep it. Cuts back towards the middle. He's going to have a gain of 3 or 4 on first down. It'll bring 2nd down and call it 7 for the Indians. Back-to-back runs for the Indians have him 23 yards on the night in the first 2 carries. Hayden Smith comes to the sideline for the play from Coach Watrick. 9:35 left to go here in the first.
Be interesting to see if Albertini keep up his average. He's had 200 yards or close to it both of the first games. He does that tonight. We'll be in the end of the 3rd game. He'll be pushing 1,000 yards already this season.
Little miscommunication on the play going in. Indians going to have to hustle up and get up to the line of scrimmage, and they do. 2 receivers wide to the right. Now the count is on from the back judge. Motion from left to right again. Albertini's going to try the left side, the weak side. Up the middle he goes. Tries to bust towards the outside. He's going to be ridden down, slammed down to the ground after a gain of 2 or 3. We got a West Elk Patriot player down. Now he hops up off the ground. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 for the Indians. Pretty good defense from West Elk, keeping Albertini contained. So far, a big 3rd down and 2 for the Indians coming up. The ball at the West Elk 32-yard line.
Albertini trying to use his blockers up front, waiting for something to open. That's one of the things that breaks him loose so well is he's patient, waiting for those holes to open up in front of him.
Hayden Smith setting a pistol to the right of Albertini. Albertini in that pistol. Slot to the right is Easton Dent. Here comes the snap. It's a good, ball's loose on the ground. Albertini's trying to up the middle. There he goes. Bust to the left and off to the races. Touchdown, Indians. Sometimes in busted plays might turn into the best ones.
Especially when Adams got the ball, that's for sure.
32-yard touchdown run. That drive was all Adam Albertini in the blocking from the Indian line. That time they set the same formation, put Dent in, or that time it was Smith in motion from left to right. Adam ran to the weak side that time, cut to the outside, started up the middle, made 1 foot plant, cut to the outside, and off to the races he went. Wondering what I was listening to, Mike. Figured it out now. Albertini in the pistol by himself. It's been all Adam Albertini so far. 3 slot to the right. Dent, Smith, and Bradshaw. Albertini's going to run it. Cuts back towards the middle. Leans and into the end zone for the extra point. It is student body right, student body left. Coach Watrick just lining up, going right at West Elk, and it works on the first drive. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome everybody back as the Indians lead 8-0 on the feet of Adam Albertini with great lead blocking by all 7 other Indians to get Albertini some running room. and gives the Indians an 8-0 lead. If you guys are watching on the live stream, don't panic in between breaks and whatever timeouts, or the camera will probably get paused, and the reason being is we use the same film. For Coach Wattrick uses the same film, and he doesn't like to have to fast forward through everything. So
let's see how that works. I believe that'll stay running. We'll find out.
Murillo with the ball teed up. Loudermilk and Marino back high kick this time. It's going to be taken by Loudermilk. Starts back up the middle and misses a tackle. He's got some running room. Now there's a holding flag on Wattrick back at the 35-yard line, but a good return by Loudermilk. Clear down to the Indian 31. Indian going to tighten up their kick coverage, Mike. That was a good return by West Elk, but it's going to be against the Patriots, and they will get backed up.
That's one of the jobs of special teams, stay in your lane on that kick coverage, and then when you do stay in your lane, you got to make a good tackle, wrap your arms up, get them on the ground.
Both times that return has came to the offense's right side, the defensive or the kickoff team's left side. There was a pretty good hole there both times. I don't know if that's something they've seen on film or just the way they're setting up their kick return. But it's a holding penalty at the 36. It'll back them up to their own 26-yard line. Call it the 25, so it'll be 1st and 10 for West Elk from their own 25-yard line. Excuse me. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Patriots. This time, nobody in the backfield but Loudermilk. 3 receivers split wide to the left. Loudermilk in the pistol. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. Loudermilk's going to keep it right up the middle. He goes. He's bottled up by a host of Indians. No biting there. And there was only 2 defenders stayed out there on 3 receivers, so the Indians going to have to be careful there because it was 2-on-3. If Loudermilk would have dropped back 2 pass, somebody would have been open, but there was a host of Indians just bottled up Loudermilk for a 1.5 yard, 2-yard game. Let's give him 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Ball spotted just across the Patriot 27. 7:28 left to go in the first. Indians lead 8-0. Patriots back up to the line of scrimmage. This time 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Loudermilk in the pistol. Here comes the snap. Now motion from right to left. Marino's going to have it. Tries to get to the outside, and he's going to be bottled up and wrapped up. Good defense by the Indians. I see Austin O'Hara, Wilson Smith, Adam Albertini all over there around that football. They did not bite on that end around. It'll be 3rd down and 8. No gain on the play by Marino. O'Hara going to get a lot of playing time here tonight for the Indians, playing that defensive end position on that right side, Mike.
Yeah, there'll be a chance for Austin to get in there and show what he can do, and he's performed pretty well when he's been called on, so we'll see if that keeps up tonight.
The young sophomore. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Patriots. Look for a little play action this time. This time in the pistol, 2 backs, 1 to the left, 1 to the right of Loudermilk. Back to pass. He's going to swing it. Nope, now he looks across the middle, has a man, and it is dropped off his fingertips. He had him from that left tight end position. You could kind of see that play action coming up. He looked for the swing pass to Marino and then back towards the middle, and his man was there. But it's going to fall incomplete. Who is that intended for, Mike? I still can't.
24.
No, 40, number 40.
Yeah.
Pass was intended for Hanks, the 6'2 junior. It was right on his hands. As back in punt position is Loudermilk on a 4th and 7 from their own 28-yard line. High snap. Loudermilk comes up to get it. Oh, it's a kind of a wobbly kick coming towards our sideline. Takes a good bounce for him, though. It's going to bounce out about the Indian 28.5-yard line. See if I'm right on target. Nope, it's going to be about the 31. I was off by 3 yards. We'll take it. 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 31.
26.
Oh, excuse me, 26. I thought it was a 23. 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 26. 2nd possession of the ball game for the Indians. Defense have done their job, Mike, in the first 2 possessions.
Yeah, defense looking pretty sharp here in the first quarter at least. We'll see as we wear on in this humidity how that's going to have an impact on conditioning.
Up to the line of scrimmage comes Stone King over the football. Right guard is Wilson. No, I think that's Austin O'Hara. Left guard Wilson Smith. In the eye this time. Hand off to Dent. Right side. Big hole. Up the middle he goes. Puts his shoulder pad down. 11 yards. Dent with a good carry. off of a good week last week, 100+ yards for Easton Dent last week at Wichita Life Prep. He got clear to the free safety or the safety before he was brought down, Mike.
Nice hard run by Easton Dent. That's what he does. Just when you think you're going to have to key on Albertini, they'll hand it off to Dent. He'll take off.
He's up to the Indian, or we are up to the Indian 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Now the White Hatter talking to Chandler Bradshaw. He's going to have to come out of the game for some reason.
Problem, maybe.
Not real
or
sure
blood, maybe.
why. He was talking to the White Hatter, the umpire.
Oh, headband. He can take his headband off.
What in the world is that got to
How do you know he had one on there, that helmet?
As they rehuddle, now they're going to wind the clock. Murillo will come into the ball game for Bradshaw. Has to come out for a play. I'm not real sure. Did he?
Unless it was hanging out the back or something. I don't know.
Or did he take his helmet off to adjust his headband, and when he does that, he had to come off for a play? I'm not real sure.
That could be too.
No idea you couldn't wear a sweatband. I formation. Chase Bradshaw at fullback. Dent at tailback. Here's Dent left side this time. More running room. Driving past, dragging people down the field. And it's going to be a 10-yard gain for Dent. What a hard run by Easton Dent.
Easton just driving those legs, carrying people with him all the way down the field.
Dragging Loudermilk at that safety position. Had him by the hips, but the hips wasn't enough. Dent just kept them legs churning with a low center of gravity. Easton about 205, so he's a good load to bring down.
Spent a lot of time in the weight room this summer, too. Got a lot stronger this year.
There was a nice write-up this week about Dent on one of the internet sports pages. This time, Albertini's going to keep it. Look like a little busted play. Up the middle he goes. Boy, that's a face mask. No call. He got his hand off pretty quick. Albertini's going to gain 7 yards right off the left side. It looked like it was supposed to be a little play action or to Hayden Smith, and Hayden went the opposite direction, so Albertini just tucked it and went. But as Coach Watrick giving accolades to Easton Dent, Mike, he put him in the fullback position, but Easton, he says, one of those players that if you ask him to play center because it'd make the team better, he'd have no qualms about it. He'd move anywhere you needed him to move and works hard.
Put him up in the slot here.
In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his left is Chase Bradshaw. Hand off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, a lot of running room. Cuts back towards middle. Drops his shoulder pad. Looked like he had some daylight towards that right side. They're going to call Bradshaw loses the ball late, but they're going to call him down. And it's going to be a good run by Chase Bradshaw. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Clear down to the West Elk 18-yard line. 3:28 left to go here in the first period. This time, Indians spreading it around on this second drive.
Trying to keep those legs at them fresh as long as they can. I don't blame them.
This time Chase Bradshaw goes to tight end. Fullback is Dent. Tailback is, Chase Bradshaw is tailback. Hayden Smith is the tight end. Roll out. Wide open's Dent. Touchdown.
Nice play.
Dent from that fullback position. Went through the right side of the line. A little play action. Faked it to Bradshaw. Adam Albertini rolled out to his right. Now that was one thing you could, the grades I would give Adam last week. His passing game was a little bit off last week. And this week, 1 for 1. That was right on target to Dent. Dent faked through the line of scrimmage from the fullback position. Adam rolled out to his right. Nobody picked Dent up, and he was wide open. Nice drive put together by a host of Indians that time, Mike. In the pistol for the extra point is Albertini. Slot to the left is Bradshaw, Smith, and Dent. Dent goes in motion from left to right. Adam Albertini's he's in a little trouble. Now he jukes one. He's going to try to get to the corner. Comes back towards the middle, and he's in there. Got drug into the spins around, drops his shoulder pads, and gets into the extra point. And the score is St. Paul 16, West Elk 0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. We are. St. Paul leads 16-0 early on here in the ball game. 3:04 left to go in the first period. Indians lead 16-0. First two drives result in touchdowns. That first drive was all Adam Albertini. Second drive spread around. Nice runs by Easton Dent, Chase Bradshaw, and Adam Albertini.
Yeah, good drives. First drive, St. Paul was 4 plays in about 2.5 minutes, and the last one was 5 plays, about 3 minutes.
I need to apologize. It's Chandler Bradshaw's number 5. Man, I did that last week too. Chandler's number 5.
Well, they're scoring
65.
points. I don't care. But we do like to give them credit when they got it coming.
Murillo with the ball teed up. As long as they don't watch the live stream, Mike, they won't get upset with us.
I don't want either one of them upset with me.
Oh, nice high driving kick by Murillo, taken at the 2 by Marino. Takes his time, looking for a block. Gets away from one, now cuts to the left, and Albertini finally brings him down, but not until a couple missed tackles by the Indians. Pretty decent return for the Patriots up to their own 32-yard line, 34-yard line. Pretty good kick by Murillo. Need to get a little better kick coverage. He got the weapon of Murillo back. He's not kicking in the end zone yet, but he's getting it down to the 2, coming off that hamstring injury, getting back in the groove of things here. Up to the line of scrimmage comes West Elk. Marino at the tailback position. Loudermilk hands it to him off the left side. Boy, he hits hard. Dropped his shoulder pad down. Hit hard there by Chase Bradshaw, brings him down, number 65, I believe. He's going to gain 3. Let's call it second. Give him 4, second down and 6. Ball now to the Patriot 38-yard line. Loudermilk comes in from the sideline with the play. 2:30 left to go here in the first period. Indians lead 16-0. Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Patriots in the I. Tyndall at fullback. Marino at tailback. Loudermilk up under center. Here comes the snap. It's going to be Marino off the left side. Chase to the sideline. Going to be knocked out of bounds after a short gain. Let's see what they give him. A gain of, call it 1. Call it 2. It's going to be third down and a long 4. Right at midfield. So it's basically third down and 5 for the Patriots. 2:07 left to go in the first period. Clock stopped. Out of bounds was Marino. I again. This time Branch at fullback. Hand off to Marino, left side, driving towards first down. He's going to be right at the sticks. Looks like he has it by about a half a yard. It's going to be a first down for the Patriots in the Indians' territory, down to the Indian 35-yard line.
Marino, the workhorse so far on offense for the Patriots.
Clock's running, 1:58 left to go in the first. Indians lead 16-0. First and 10 for the Patriots. Working on that left side of the Indian line, defensive line. This drive, every run has went to that left side. It's garnered 11 yards off of 3 carries by Marino. First and 10 for West Elk, down to the Indian 35. In the pistol this time is Loudermilk. Set to his right is Marino. Slot to the right is Branch. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap, good straight snap. Tries to cut back towards the middle. He's going to be bottled up and slammed to the ground by Albertini. He's fired up with that hit, but that was all caused by Wilson Smith doing his job, Mike. He really took, Loudermilk was trying to get around the right side. Smith come up and took on that lead blocker and really blew it up. Turned Loudermilk back to the inside, where from that safety position, or however you want to call it, monster position, Albertini came back and put the shoulder pad in, slammed him into the ground for a loss of 3.
Yeah, textbook form tackle there. Adam just drove into him with his shoulder, picked him up, and drove him right into the ground. Nice tackle.
But I'm telling you, that was caused by Wilson Smith doing his job and really turning that in. Loudermilk in the pistol, 3 receivers wide to the right is Branch. Marino can catch the other one number. Here comes the snap. Loudermilk with the snap. He's going to keep it to the left side. You could tell he was going that way. Tries to go back towards the middle, but he's swallowed up. Easton Dent, Albertini, Ethan Stone King all get up off the pile. He was leaning that direction away from all the wide receivers split to the right. You could tell that's the direction he was going to go or wanted to go. As there's 20 seconds left in the first period, it's going to bring up a big third down and 11. Look for a play action here from West Elk. They're going to let the quarter run out here and get a fresh start here in the second quarter.
He almost leaned too soon, too. That ball was just about the time he was leaning forwards when the snap came.
At the end of one, Indians lead 16-0. Good start by the Indian defense and offense. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul as West Elk starts second quarter. Third down and 12 from the Indian 38. In the pistol is Marino. Slot to the right. Three slot receivers. He rolls out to his right. He looks. He's going to throw deep, and it's going to fall incomplete over the head of the two intended receivers.
Flag.
And there is a flag on the right-hand side.
We'll hope that's a hold.
It looks like that's they're pointing towards the Indians.
Defense, though.
We'll see what the call is here as they sort it out. That is
eligible man downfield, I believe.
On the Patriots. See if the Indians take it or decline. It'll be 4th down and 12 if they decline. Looks like the Indians are going to decline. The ball is Indian territory, so that Coach Watrick going to take a chance here. 4th down and 12 for the Patriots at the Indians' 37-yard line. Volleyball this week, Mike, the 24th try at St. Paul, varsity and JV. You want to watch the Lady Indians in some volleyball show up at Billy Fager Fieldhouse on the 24th. A big 4th down and 12, 3 receivers wide to the right. In the pistol, this time it's Marino. Dropped the pass off the right. No, that's not Marino. It's number 40. He's just going to throw it as far as he can. Throws it over the head of everyone. Who was that? He's got an arm. Rocky Hanks at 6'2", junior. He rifled that thing over the head of everyone. Good arm by Mr. Hanks. He just missed the receiver. Intended receiver was Loudermilk. Went from the quarterback position to a receiver position. So versatile player for the Patriots. Indians will take over 1st and 10 from their own, at their own 38. So great field position, 37. Great field position for Adam Albertini and the Indians. Up to the line of scrimmage. Comes Stone King over the football. In the pistols, Adam Albertini, three slot receivers to the right. Everybody's set. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to come around the right side, cuts back to the middle. Now towards the outside, down the sideline he goes. Tries to cut back, puts a juke move on, ankle tackled, but not until he gets down to the Indian 22-yard line. That is a 18, 19, 20-yard gain. Call it 21, excuse me, for Albertini. 21-yard gain for Albertini. 1st and 10 for the Indians, right back up the line of scrimmage at the 22, just underway here in the second period. In the pistols, Albertini, 3 slot receivers to the left. Low snap, Albertini picks it up on the first drop, gets through the line of scrimmage, up the middle he goes, touchdown.
Not going to get him.
Albertini.
No flags.
No flags. The ball got away, but it took a good hop to Albertini, bounced right up into his hands. He busted through the initial line of scrimmage with some good lead blocking by the Indians. One cut back towards the middle, and the Indians extend their lead to 22-0.
32-yard touchdown run by Albertini. 11:08 left.
Albertini's got to be bumping on 100 yards already here in this ball game. On the extra point pending. The Indians lead 22-0, 11:08 left to go here in the second period. And up under center is Albertini, Dent at fullback, Chandler, Bradshaw at tailback. Here comes the snap. It's going to be a hand. Nope, he's going to roll to his right. Dent's out there again, and extra point's good. Good play. Same play as they scored on the extra point before. They ran it twice in a row. And the Indians lead 24-0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Here lists St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back here to Miles Field in St. Paul, 24-0. Indians lead. It's first home game for the cheerleaders and the band led by Mr. Goddard, Mike.
Yep, good night for everybody getting started here at home and looking good so far.
St. Paul cheerleaders, Emily Richenberg, Reagan Carlson, Nikki Newberry, Ashley Gaiman, Rebecca Doherty, Taylor Model, Jenny Vitt, and Burgundy Green. And cheer coach is Julie Spieth. Thank all the time that Mr. Goddard, Mrs. Spieth, and everyone else puts in for the student body of St. Paul. Morello Ivan set to kick the ball off for the Indians. Back deep is Loudermilk and Marino, and it's going to bounce into the end zone. So Morello starting to get back in the groove as it's going to be a touchdown back, and it'll pin West Elk back in their own territory. First and 10 for the Patriots from their own 15-yard line. 11:08 left to go in the first half. Indians 3 for 3 on their first offensive possessions, and they lead 24-0.
Took St. Paul about 40 seconds on that last drive, put points on the board. They ran only 2 plays.
Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Patriots. In the eye, Loudermilk up under center. Marino, I believe, at tailback. Here comes the snap. Long, hard count. Nobody jumps for the Indians. Tries the right-hand side of the line. Easton Dent wraps him up. There's some initial pressure in the backfield. He gets away from one Indian, but Dent comes up and cleans him up. No gain on the play. It'd be second down and 10. Let's set the defense, Mike, here real quick. We got Ethan Stone King at nose guard, Wilson Smith at left defensive end, Austin O'Hara tonight at right defensive end, Chase Bradshaw, Easton Dent at the linebacker position, Chandler, Bradshaw, and Hayden Smith at the cornerbacks, and Adam Albertini playing that free safety, sometimes slips up into that monster position at kind of like a middle linebacker. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Marino, the single in the pistol. Motion from right to left is Marino. A high snap. It's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be a false start on West Elk. It's going to back them up 5 yards. And it'll bring up second down and 15 from their own 10-yard line.
St. Paul defense, they've been preparing. You know, they've been in the film room. You saw when the receiver went in motion, the whole defensive backfield, the corner went in motion with the receiver, and then the safety in the other corner made a shift and covered the guys that were still out there. So good job by the defense getting ready.
So far in the first 2 quarters, Mike, not a lot of different some different looks from the Patriots, but they're running the same plays out of the same set. See if they expand into a little play action. Here's a little different set. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Marino is in a pistol. Look for someone to come in motion here. Nope, nobody does. Back to pass is Marino. Looking. Now he's just going to run around the left side. He's got a lot of room. Here comes Smith Bradshaw, drags him down, but not until he's right at the first down stick. So you got to watch on them wide split sets. They give Loudermilk a lot of running room, and he gains, I guess he gets a first down. They're going to give it to him as the nose of the football touches the 25.
Yeah, you could see that develop. That seems to be what the object of that play was, get the defense all spread out and give Loudermilk some room there where he's only got the 3 front guys trying to chase him down. And
the problem is if everybody goes deep and you're playing man coverage, you got to wait till the quarterback gets to the line of scrimmage before you can run up and try to stop him. You're really relying on your DNs to make that stop. I formation, a pitch to Marino, trying around that right side. Indians trying to scatter it out. Dent comes up,
Good
makes
hit.
a tackle, but it's going to be a nice gain on the play by Marino. Give him a gain of close to 5 yards. It is 5. It'll be second down and 5 from their own 30. 9:17 left to go here in the second period. Indians lead 24-0. So far, pretty good, clean game, Mike, as far as the wet football. No turnovers yet in the ball game.
And one time I think it's been on the ground, and not sure if that was just an issue with the snap
Been
or
a
if the
couple
ball was wet.
errant snaps for the Indians, but Albertini able to pick it up, but no. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for West Elk. Loudermilk now motion by Marino, and it's going to be another flag. False start against West Elk. Not real sure who they're catching moving when Marino comes in motion, but that's twice when he's came in motion that there's been a false start. Now the Patriots trying to spread the Indians out, give Loudermilk some running room, and then maybe they've tried to run a couple reverses to Marino. Look for him maybe to fake that here in a little bit and run a little play action. The Indians are going to have to be careful, stay with the receivers. Now they got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Loudermilk stands back at his own 20-yard line. High snap, he reels it in. Now screen pass to Marino, and he's bottled up, and not until a 5-yard gain. He gets back the 5 they lost. It'll be third down and 5. Boy, you could see that because the 2 defenders, 2 linemen thought, hey, nobody even blocked me. They ran through. But Marino coming from that slot position to the right, cut across the field, a little screen pass. O'Hara and Dent was there, but not until he gained 5 yards. It's going to be third down and 5. Ball spotted at the Patriot 30. 8:23 left to go in the first half. Indians lead 24-0. I formation. Marino at tailback. Branch at fullback. Loudermilk up under center. Here's the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw it late, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there put on by Hayden Smith. Was on the coverage. Good coverage by Smith that time. It should be fourth down and 5. I don't know how come our yard marker now is backing up. It is fourth down and 5 as the pass falls incomplete. .805 left to go here in the second period. Indians lead 24-0. Big fourth down. See what West Elk does here on 4th and 5 at their own 30. I believe they're going to call timeout here, taking a lot of time. If they was going to punt, which you would think they would, you wouldn't think they would have to whisper to the coach on a punt formation. Indians want to be careful not to jump here. It looks like they're going to go for it from their own 30. Maybe they're going to do a hard count. Want to be careful here. Everybody up on the line of scrimmage for the Indians. They are just doing a hard count. Now motion by the Patriots. False start on the Patriots. And you could kind of see that coming where they come up bunch to the line of scrimmage in the eye. And it's false start, so it's going to be fourth down and 10. Now the ball spotted at the Patriot 25-yard line.
That's the 3rd false start penalty on this drive for the Patriots.
Loudermilk back in punt formation. Adam Albertini backs up. Coach Watrick hollers the sideline to make. Oh, high snap. Loudermilk reels it in. Boy, the Indians just retreat off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce, take a opportunistic bounce for West Elk. Goes clear down to the Indians' 23-yard line. Boy, the Indians may try to put on a punt block here before long. Them snaps has been just right. Loudermilk's using all of his 6'2 frame to reel them in. Let's do a little play action, throw it deep on first down. Mike, what do you say?
I'd say that sounds like a fine idea.
Try to hit Hayden Smith on a go route. First and 10 for the Indians. Ball spotted back at their own 22-yard line. First and 10 for the Indians. 7:55 left to go in the first. They lead 24-0. In the I formation. Dent at fullback. Chandler Bradshaw at tailback. Here comes the snap. Option to the right. Albertini's going to keep it. Gets around to one. Drops the shoulder pad down. And he's going to be belted down to the ground hard. But not till a nice gain. Good option. I love that option read. Use Dent as the bait going up the middle. Albertini just ran out of running room. He has such a low center of gravity. Rarely does he ever lose yardage because he gets so low and it just advances for another yard or two. Second down and 4. Give him 6 on first down. This time let's give it to Dent right up the gut. Make somebody tackle him. Up to the line of scrimmage. Now it's Bradshaw at fullback, Dent at tailback. Here comes the snap. It's a handoff to Dent, left side. Looks for some running up the middle. Has some. First down and more. Stretch that football out. You need to tuck that ball in on a wet day. Easton up to the Indian 38.5-yard line. It'll be a first down and a gain of, what'd you give him, Mike?
I'm going to give him about 9 on that one.
9 yards. Good hard running by Dent. Stretch that football out for a gain of 9 as West Elk shuffles players in and out. Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Indians. Albertini up under center. Chandler Bradshaw at fullback. Dent at tailback. A lot closer to the line of scrimmage this time as a tailback and fullback. Dent off the left side again. Drops his shoulder pad. This time gets corralled by a host of Patriots. And he's going to get positive yards. Give him a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8 as he crosses into West Elk territory. Down to the Patriot 39. Up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry comes the Indians. In the pistol is Albertini. Chandler Bradshaw set to his right. Slot to the right is Dent. Good snap right in the hands of Albertini. Just tries that left side. Spurts away.
They're not going to get him now.
Touchdown.
Stay clean behind him.
Adam Albertini. No flags on the play.
39-yard touchdown run by Albertini.
I got to tell you, Mike, that wasn't any fancy running besides running right through the hole that's created by the line of scrimmage. And he just slipped right through that seam. Nobody touched him. And right past everyone he went. So if this was the NFL, he'd be taking his line of scrimmage out to eat after the game, wouldn't he, Mike?
He sure would.
Extra point pending for the Indians. They lead 30-0. Off to the races. Playing well tonight as Indians. This is by far the best they've looked, and they've looked pretty good the first 2 games. West Elk is not no by no stretch. They are 2-0 on the night. Bradshaw, he's short. Man, you'd think he could have kind of, Chandler got around that right side. Coach Watrick telling him exactly kind of what he's mad at himself. You know he is, because he had an opportunity to maybe stretch that ball across and get in there or try to cut, but he got too much of an angle and got hit at the angle, got knocked out about the half-yard line. 5:52 left to go here in the first half. Indians lead 30-0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Morello with the ball teed up for the Indians. 4 consecutive offensive touchdowns by the Indians right from the start. So the Indians clicking.
This is as good as we've seen the Indians play, not that I can remember, against the West Elk team.
Morello's kick, high driving. Oops, going to squirt towards the sideline. Bounces, going to be picked up about the 5-yard line by Marino. White waits for his lead blocks. Now tries to get Watrick, misses him. Getting chased and cut down by Albertini. Good cut down. Good pressure by the initial. Watrick was down there. Kaiser Watrick was down there, as well as Wilson Smith. He got around Smith. But Adam Albertini come up, chopped his legs out from underneath him. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Patriots from their own 18. Indians defense gets set, same set. O'Hara at right defensive end, left defensive ends, Wilson Smith, Stone King at the nose guard. Chase and Bradshaw and Easton Dent at the linebackers. West Elk up the line of scrimmage in the eye. Marino at tailback. Here comes the snap. Loudermilk hands it to Marino. Tries that left side. Puts your right side, excuse me. The left side of the defense. He's going to gain about 3. Brought down by Adam Albertini. I seen Albertini in there. I wasn't sure who else he got hit at the line of scrimmage. Gain of 2, second down and 8. 5:25 left to go here in the second period. Indians lead 30-0. No one of West Elk's wins was against Moran. I'll have to look at their schedule here in a
The
little
other
bit.
one was Udall.
Udall and Marmonton Valley.
Scored over 50 points in both of those games, too.
2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. Set to the right of Loudermilk is Marino in the pistol. Good snap. Loudermilk's going to keep it. Try the right side. He has some running room. Cuts back. First down and more. Albertini has to ankle tackle him as he was the last guy to beat into Indian territory down to the Indian 35-yard line as West Elk tries that the left side of the defense of the Indians and gets to the edge. Loudermilk doing a good job following his lead blockers, and Albertini has to ankle tackle him from behind.
Give him 23 on that carry.
Not until he gets down to the Indians' 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Patriots at the Indians' 37. Timeout, Coach Wadrick. With that timeout, we're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. You're to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul. Indians lead 30-0, but West Elk off a good run by Loudermilk. Great field position down to the Indian 37. 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. In the pistols, Loudermilk. Marino set to his right. Here comes the snap. Good snap. Hand off to Marino this time. Albertini ankle tackles him, but he leans forward. Going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Albertini needs to make sure he wraps him up good. It's going to be no gain on the play. Maybe second down and 9, let's call it. About a half-yard gain on the play. 4:12 left to go in the second period. Indians lead 30-0. Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Patriots. Same set, 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left this time. Marino is set in the pistol next to the right of Loudermilk. Loudermilk takes the snap. Good snap. He's going to try that side again. Option to Marino late. Has some running room. Cuts back towards the center. And he stays inbounds, and he's going to score as Dent had a shot at him and misses him by the coattail. And Marino off the option. Good option around that right side. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Patriots. And they get on the board as the Indians lead 30-6 with 3:39 left to go here in the second period.
Give Moreno credit. He ran hard on that run, 37 yards.
Give Loudermilk credit because the defensive end, Wilson Smith, did his job. Come up, took the quarterback out, but he made that pitch. Albertini misses a tackle, and then Dent had a shot at him at the sideline, had his jersey, but couldn't get him down. In the eye, extra point. Quick snap. Marino right side. He's going to be no good. Short for the extra point. Good defense by the Indians, keeping him out of the end zone. Indians lead 36, 3:39 left to go in the second period. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Mark, just go ahead and make it a 30-second, please. Welcome back to Miles Field as West Elk gets on the board, but the Indians still lead 30-6 with 3:39 left to go. Pretty good drive put together by West Elk, Mike.
Yeah, they sustained that drive and moved the ball when they needed to, picked up some key first downs that kept the drive alive, able to break off the big run there.
What do you got for a halftime guest, Mike? Halftime coming up here in about 4 minutes.
Yep, KW Trucking halftime show. We'll have
well, it's the KW Trucking post-game show. That's
You're
okay.
Right.
We'll
That's
give
right.
all our sponsors all the credit we got.
But anyway, we'll have St. Paul Principal Craig Bagshaw coming in to be our halftime guest, as we have in the past. Like to have some of the school administrators come in when we can, these home games, and catch up on other things going on at the school.
High kick, going to be bounced, taken by the up back. Smith tries to cut, make a couple cuts, puts his shoulder pads down, drags some Patriots with him. A little dangerous there as he let that football bounce, and I think he realized that, hey, that's like an onside kick. I got to grab that. It was Hayden Smith. He did. Good return, a great field position for the Indians. You could tell it was an intentional little pooch kick by the kicker. Keeping that out of the returners for the Indians, taken by the up back Hayden Smith. And a nice return, going to give the Indians good field position, 1st and 10 from their own 32. See what Coach Waltrip dials up here with 3:34 left to go in the first half. Indians defense gives up a touchdown after playing great for the first quarter and 3 quarters. In the pistol is Albertini, motion by Dent. He almost started upfield a little quick. Albertini busts towards the middle, going to be brought down hard after a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 for the Indians. Ball across the 35 up to the 37-yard line, giving 6. 2nd down and 4. 3:14 left to go here in the second period. Pat and Paul Westhoff both here tonight. Staples of the fan sideline, them Westhoff boys, Mike.
Yep, always roaming the sideline, cheering them on. They're here all the time, rain or shine.
Adam Albertini, bad snap, picks it up off of a bounce, tries to cut towards the middle. He's swallowed up, beat down hard that time. He pops right back up off the ground. Bad snap. It's going to be maybe a loss on the play, a rare loss. It's going to call it no gain, 3rd down and 4. They actually advanced the stick about 3 inches, it looked like, so no negative yards. 3rd down and 4 for the Indians. West Elk with a little momentum here off of that touchdown. Albertini in the pistol, 2 receivers wide to the right. Set to his left is Easton Dent. Smith and Bradshaw. Now Dent goes in motion. Now Albertini keeps it, tries the side, cuts back up the middle, gets cut down, loses the football. They're calling it down. So West Elk really sniffing it out. I want to see the Indians go right back to the eye. We'll see if the Indians punt here, still in their own territory. Ball up to the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and call it 2. 1:46 left to go. Looks like Coach Watrick's going to elect to go for it here. West Elk defense playing a little better this drive, Mike.
Yeah, they're shutting them down up front. The line may be getting a little tired here in this humidity. Breeze has picked up a little too from the southeast, looks like. Not bad, but picked up.
Albertini in the pistol. Slot to the right is Dent. Set to Albertini's right is Smith. Up the middle he goes. That's 1st down and more. Keeps his feet ridden down hard, but not until.
Flag comes in late back in the backfield.
Flag comes in way late. And Easton Dent upset that they call it. Like it's probably on him. It's going to be right after 1st down marker. That obviously is probably going to be holding against Indians. That'll back them up 10 yards, negate a good hard run by Albertini. See what Coach Watrick elects to do here with 1:20 left to go in the first half. You would think possibly he would end up punting. That's going to back them up to their own 30-yard line off of that 10-yard penalty. Well, it's from the spot foul, excuse me. The flag was thrown right at the 1st down marker, so it's going to back them up to the 32-yard line. And it'll be 4th and 10 now. Albertini on the sideline. Coach Watrick looking at the clock. And it's going to be a timeout for the Indians, I think. Timeout. Coach Watrick and the Indians. Pretty good first couple periods put together for the Indians, Mike, but they let West Elk score on the last position. Now West Elk has got the Indians at a 4th and 10.
Well, and that's what they have to be careful of. You know, West Elk, we've we know as much as we've played them, they're not a team that's going to lay down. They're going to keep fighting. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. And so once you get a nice lead, the Indians have to be careful and not back off any, which I don't think they're doing. We haven't seen any signs of that, but you just can't get comfortable because a team like West Elk, with putting over 50 points on the board their first 2 games, they're definitely capable of scoring, and we've seen that with Moreno. Hadn't had a whole lot of yards to start with, but then he broke free on that big run. He's a load to catch and a load to take down.
West Elk much deeper on the sideline than the Indians as far as players go, so maybe able to keep a little bit fresher. There's a lot of two-way play by the Indians so far, offensive, defense, entire way, I believe, for each. Very few substitutions off the sideline. Only substitutions has been on kickoff and the kickoff return. 4th down and 10. See what the Indians elect to do. I would think that Coach Wattrick would punt, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. Indians offense has been clicking along pretty good here tonight.
You got a guy like Albertini in the backfield, you know, you never know what they might do.
Looks like the Indians are going to go for it here.
They run the Wildcat.
I'm not real sure.
No, they got Dent up.
Albertini is in the pistol. Now Dent goes in motion. They are going to go for it. Albertini back to pass. Has Dent down there. And it falls short. Boy, Dent was wide open, and Albertini misses him. He just had to lop that up in the air. So pretty gutsy call by Coach Wattrick with 1:03 left. The Indians defense going to have to stiffen up here.
Yep, sure are. That was a well-designed play. He just didn't quite get it out to him.
Boy, Dent was 8 yards beyond anyone. All he had to do was loft it up a little bit higher. Dent tried to dive for it, bounces, short hops it, tried to come back to it. Would have been a heck of a grab, couldn't make it. So the Indian defense going to have to stiffen up here. West Elk at the Indian 32. Here they go to that spread. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Moreno set to Loudermilk in the pistol. Good snap. Loudermilk's going to keep it. Up the middle he goes. He's bottled up by the Indians. See if West Elk, I believe West Elk, they have 2 or 3 timeouts. They may have all 3 of their timeouts yet. 52 seconds left to go here before halftime. 2nd down and 9, a gain of 1 down to the Indian 30-yard line. Look for a little play action out of that spread. Now it's going to be 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Loudermilk is the single back set in the pistol. He's back to pass, looking across the middle. Screen pass to Moreno. He's got a lot of running room off the left side, knocked out of bounds at the 22. That same play. And Coach Wattrick is not happy with his defense. He is coaching.
Don't get him close. It got him the 1st down.
1st down by West Elk down to the Indian 23 seconds left to go. Out of bounds, so the Patriots do not have to use a timeout. See if the Indians defense can hold here. 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the Indian 22-yard line after Coach Wattrick goes for 4th and 10 from their own 32. Loudermilk in the pistol. Set to his right is Moreno. 2 slot receivers to the right. Now Moreno goes to the slot to the right. In the pistol alone is Loudermilk. Here comes the snap. Good snap. He's going to keep it to his right. Now he's going to pass it. He's going to throw it short. The pass was intended to number 14. There is no 14, so maybe I can't see good. Maybe it was Moreno who it was intended for. Not a good pass by Loudermilk. Falls harmlessly incomplete with 19 seconds left to go here before halftime. Indians lead 30-6. All 3 timeouts the Patriots still have, but they're running out of time here with 19 seconds left. 2nd down and 10. There's probably time for 3 or 4 plays with their timeouts, depending on what they run. I formation this time. Up under center is Loudermilk. In the I, in halfback position, Moreno. It's a pitch to Moreno. It's going to be a halfback pass. He's looking, throws it to Loudermilk. It's going to be picked off by Albertini. Up the sideline, now back to the middle. Back to the right sideline. It's going to be a foot race all the way across the field, and Albertini's going to have a pick 6 going into halftime.
Boy, that's just what they need to get the wind back in their sails. No flags. Good play by Albertini.
You could see that coming. That was the old glory hound play when they pitched to Moreno to the right. Loudermilk swung out to the left. The Indians defense did not bite. Albertini just jumped in front of it and picked that football off at its highest point. Albertini a little bit gassed here, and you can imagine why. Nice interception return for 6. 36-6 with 2 seconds left to go here in the second period.
I'm going to give him about 68 yards on that one.
They was at the 22-yard line,
I was trying
think.
to see where he caught. He caught it down around the 11
Oh,
or 12
yeah.
yard line.
That's true. Sorry. Line of scrimmage was the 22. I would guess you're about right. 11 or 12-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage on the extra point. I formation. Chandler Bradshaw fullback. Easton Dent at tailback. Hand off to Dent right side. He just walks into the end zone. Nobody even close to him. Extra point is good. Indians lead 38-6 with 2 seconds left to go here before half. We'll go ahead and stay here while the Indians get their kickoff team set. That's a pretty good turn of events there on momentum because the West Elk had a little momentum there, Mike.
Well, that's exactly right. West Elk really, that last drive, it built up some momentum. They were driving down the field. They were threatening to score, and they had a good play drawn up. That halfback pass had them fooled a little bit. Everyone except Adam Albertini. He read it, stepped right up there. Had a chance to get it back. Loudermilk was the one pitched it out to Moreno and then went out for the pass. It was intended for Loudermilk, but Albertini saw him coming out there, read it, able to step in there, and then it was just a foot race. And if you're in a foot race, my money's on Albertini.
Craig Brad. It looked like he had room down the right sideline, but he cut back across the grain.
Yeah.
Either way,
He's
he got to the
comfortable
end
with that.
zone.
We've seen him do that quite a bit. He likes that cut back across the field running because speed like his, I don't blame him.
Stick around here at halftime. Join us here at halftime. Mike's halftime guest will be the principal, Mr. Bagshaw, to let us know how the Indian school year is off and running here with a lot of action, football, volleyball, and cross country, and all the academics as the kids get settled in with all the teachers. Murillo squibs it. He'll be taken by Marino. Now he loses it. Now he tries that right side, cuts back up the middle. Hard hit by Marino, drags him down the field, and that's going to be halftime. Our halftime score is Indians 38. West Elk 6. We'll be back with our halftime show after this 2-minute timeout. You're with St. Paul football on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, Kansas. First home open tonight. Great crowd on hand for the Indians. They lead here at halftime 38-6. Late in that second period, about 6 minutes, West Elk with a nice drive finally got on the scoreboard and then had the Indians pin back, stop them, 4th and 10 from their own 32. Coach Watrick electing to go for it on 4th and 10. Pass fell incomplete from Albertini to Dent. He had Dent behind the coverage, but unable to connect with him, and the Indians defense, and then gets a pick 6 from Albertini, and go up 38-6 in a pretty good first half put together by the Indians, Mike.
Yeah, good first half by the Indians, both sides of the ball. I wouldn't call it a defensive breakdown, but the defense definitely softened up a little bit on that one drive, allowing West Elk to get back on the board and keep them a little bit in this game. But overall, good on both sides of the ball by St. Paul in the first half.
Pretty nice night here at St. Paul, and Mike's halftime guest is going to be Principal Mr. Bagshaw, going to join us here after the next break here. We're going to take a break here, and he's going to join us and let us know how the school years get started off. We're looking forward to that, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be a good interview here at halftime and hear about things going on outside the football field. It's a lot of fun being here, but there's a lot of other things to talk about, so we'll look forward to that.
We're going to give Mike a workout here because as soon as he gets done with Mr. Bagshaw, we're going to let him tally all his
right
stats
back in the
up.
fire. I got her, though.
We're going to let him go through the first half stats. So we're going to take a little shorter break. We're going to take a 1-minute break for all our sponsors to get plenty of airtime here. We sure appreciate them. We'll be back with Mr. Bagshaw as our halftime guest after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105.
We'll do like usual, just make it up.
Okay. That'll work.
Welcome back, Miles Field here in St. Paul, Kansas. We're at halftime tonight at the home opener for the Indians. St. Paul leads the West Elk Patriots by a score of 38-6 here at halftime, and we're fortunate now, like we have in the past. We like first of the year to get things, a good report on things, see what's going on elsewhere besides the football field, and so we're glad to have St. Paul High School Principal Craig Bagshaw join us here at halftime, and we appreciate you taking time, Mr. Bagshaw, come up and visit with us. So how's things going so far here getting started in the new school year?
Just fast and furious. It's amazing how much you enjoy them leaving in May, and you look forward to them returning in August, and I'm ready for a Christmas break.
Then they get back and you're ready for a break again. But we got a nice night out here at the field, but it's been a nice fall so far. Really, weather's cooperated pretty well, and some of the activities going on at school besides football. What do we got going on?
Oh my goodness, we have everything. One thing that's kind of neat. You get school started and you have an activity every single night of the week that's either middle school or high school or even some Saturday volleyballs, and then you have kids that actually want to. We've adopted a new math curriculum.
Oh, yeah.
And they do love their teacher.
That's
and
good.
We have 62 students that had showed up the other day for an inaugural meeting to start a math club.
Wow, starting a math club at St. Paul, that's awesome.
You got
that
students
awesome.
wanting to start a math club. Whoever thought they would think about something other than sports?
Yeah, that is awesome to hear that,
So, we have those kind of kids with those kind of desires and dreams. And, they go over to Pitt State and they do the KBI Forensics Lab, and they go over there to Greenbush for the journeys and destinations and go through all the different medical professions and things that, they, may have an interest in. But, our kids are just very, very well-rounded. You've got probably 30 or 40 kids sitting over here in front of a brand new band teacher, and that's about the loudest I've seen our student section and band in quite some time. And
yeah, that makes it a lot of fun out here. You got a good crowd, and then you've got the band keeping them fired up here on the breaks, and cheerleaders. I noticed the cheerleaders down there, and they're really doing a good job. They've been traveling around and following to all the games, and that's really nice when you've got that number of kids where you can have a good cheerleading squad, good band, have the kids that are out for sports playing their sports, and then to hear that they're doing so good in the classroom. In a school this size, not only are they out on the athletic field, but they're also student athletes, and so they're focused just as much in the classroom as they are on the field.
They really are. We actually didn't even know how to spell entomologist, but we had kids go to their first entomology contest here last week, and I'm not sure how they scored, but there was about 11 of them that went. And,
I'm not
they
sure
had a
what
big
that is,
day.
but it sounds good. If they got entomology contests and math club, I'd say you're on the right track in the classroom for sure.
I don't know what's happening, but
well, good. How about the other fall sports? Junior high, you mentioned that. You got the junior high sports teams out playing, and we also have high school. We've got the boys and girls cross country, and then the girls are playing volleyball. A lot of other sports going on too.
I didn't hear the results from the cross country meet at Big Hill, which is quite a course. You know, you run up the dam and across the dam and down the dam.
Yeah, that's quite a course.
It's probably one of the toughest courses in probably the Midwest, but haven't heard results on that. But we did have some great results at Girard and down at Labette County. We had some good placings there, some personal bests. Our middle school football team got rained out here on their home opener.
Yeah.
And then went over to Altoona and then had a nice ball game over there last week. And so we've got kids playing there. The middle school volleyball has been kind of intermittent, but we've got a lot of girls out playing. And high school, we've got girls everywhere playing volleyball this year. I think they're up to 21 girls.
Wow, got big numbers. That's good.
Yeah, we've had to find some other contests for freshmen and JV to play, and you know, just trying to get kids.
That's awesome to be able to.
As many opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot of years where we're lucky to have enough kids to put out a team, and then to have extras like that. We're looking for more games is really a nice change of pace. So glad to hear all that's going on. So as we move through halftime here, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we move on into our halftime show?
Well, I think one thing just to throw out there is we have 28 kindergarten students enrolled at St. Paul School. And so our traditions are going to continue here for a long time.
That's good. Good to hear that the numbers are staying steady or even going up with a big class like that. So we'll look forward to what that brings us and look forward to moving on here tonight and hopefully coming out of here with a win and success all around this fall.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yep, we appreciate your time, and that's Mr. Bagshaw, high school, grade school, middle school principal here at St. Paul, taking time out to join us here on the halftime show. We're here at Miles Field. The Indians leading by the score of 38-6. About halfway through the halftime period here, we'll bring Dan back in. We'll visit a little bit. I'll go over some stats as we continue here, and we'll bring you the second half just as soon as they're ready to get started. You're listening to the halftime show, St. Paul Indian football on Hot 105. Sorry, Mark. Give me 2 minutes. Thanks, sir.
Well, welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, Kansas, where the Indians lead 38-6 here at halftime. Mike, what do you got for first half stats?
Yeah, first half stats for St. Paul. St. Paul held the ball pretty well in the first half. They had a little over 12 minutes possession time, so a couple of times. Well, I know the one drive for sure, it was less than a minute they had it, so Lightning struck quick, but they were also able to control the pace of the game in the first half. Like I said, a little over 12 minutes possession time, pretty good, and, you know, they've done a real good job getting on and off the field, but they're on there a lot with running both ways. And that's surprising, but not really when you talk about Adam Albertini. Adam had 12 carries, 170 yards in the first half, so he's really getting the numbers up there, continuing what he started in the first game, and he hasn't slowed down any tonight. He had a touchdown run of 32 yards, another one of 32 yards, and then a scamper of 39. Also had a 15-yard touchdown pass to Easton Dent. And in addition to that, Adam had the pick six there right before halftime. So Adam's been in on all of the Indian scores with 170 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, and a pick six. A big first half for Adam Albertini. Easton Dent had 4 carries for 32 yards. He also was 15 yards receiving and a touchdown on that pass from Albertini. Chandler Bradshaw with 1 carry for 11 yards in the first half, doing a little work in there for the Indians on offense. Indian drives, they took the ball over their first drive of the game with 10:26 left in the first quarter. They drove and finished that off with the 32-yard run, like I said, from Albertini. Were able to convert on the extra point. West Elk gave up the ball on a punt. St. Paul took it over. It took them 3 minutes and 10 seconds to drive the field, where that's when the 15-yard pass took place there to Dent, and the extra point that followed that was good. Then with 11:47 left in the second quarter, only took them 39 seconds to drive the field, capped off by a 32-yard run by Albertini, bringing the score to 24-0 because the extra point was good. They did miss the extra point on their next score, which came in the middle of the second period. 39-yard run by Albertini, unable to convert on the extra point. West Elk came back, though, and had a little fire of their own, drove the length of the field, capped off by a 37-yard touchdown run by Moreno. Indians got a little bit loose on defense, let him get through there. West Elk wasn't able to convert their extra point. St. Paul gave the ball up on downs. The only time in the first half they did that was on the next possession. West Elk took over, drove the field, and were threatening to score, but that's when the pick six happened down on the far end of the field. Albertini with a 68-yard pick six return for a touchdown. Extra point was good. That brings our score here at half to 38-6 in favor of the Indians on their home opener tonight.
Do you keep track of total yards, Mike, on each team? Like how many yards rushing is West Elk? How many is Marino and Loudermilk have?
Marino, no, that's all right. I got you. Marino's 11 carries for 59 yards, and Loudermilk has 7 carries for 32. So you're looking at about, was that 91 yards?
That's
91 yards.
That's not too bad
total
by the Indians'
offense
defense there. For the Indians' defense to start that first half there, and a lot of those yardage come in that first drive. The first 4 drives by West Elk kind of went nowhere. The first 3 drives was 3 and outs, and then maybe 1 first down in there. But that 4th drive by the West Elk, they kind of got things put together. We'll see what they dial up here in the second half. The Indians will have the football to start the second half.
Yeah, they tried. West Elk tried to throw the ball a little bit. They threw 6 passes. Did Moreno? He threw 6 passes, Loudermilk rather, 6 passes for 14 yards. He was only 2 of 6, though, so struggling a little bit with completions there.
A couple, I think both of the completions was on those screen, kind of the slot back screens to Marino. Marino had a throwback pass to Loudermilk that was picked off by Albertini and ran back for a touchdown right before halftime. So Indian defense, I thought, played real well. You know, the key, a sign of a pretty good football team in 8-man is not necessarily how many points you score, but how many points you give up, how good your defense is. And Indians' defense has been fairly solid this year, especially against these non-conference non-district games. You know, Sedan, West Elk, no slouches by any stretch of the imagination. We got about 1:36 until the second half kick. We're going to take 1 minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul's. We get set for the second half kick. I want to thank Mr. Bagshaw for stepping in. Sounds like school year's off and running here this year. We're going to try to get, we got more home games in a row with a Colony Crest coming to St. Paul and then Altoona Midway. We're going to try to get Coach Guard up here, the cross-country coach, and Mr. Haight, and then probably try to save Dr. Bobby for the Chatopa at St. Paul, see if we can get her up here to talk about honor flight.
Yeah.
Very good programs. I know they got a big sporting clay shoot coming up as one of the big fundraisers here right around the corner here in September.
I don't know if you heard Mr. Bagshaw, Dan, during the halftime interview, but he said that they've got 64 kids that came to him and they wanted to start a math club at the high school. So St. Paul got a high school math club, and they also went to an entomology competition this year already.
I don't even know.
That's what I said. I don't
is
even
that something
know what
about bugs?
That sounds like a bug thing to me.
Oh, take it, Wilson Smith right off his fingertips on that opening kick. And he jumps down on the football, going to give the Indians great field position to start here. The third quarter, we are underway. I seen on Facebook where the math club started, so that's great for the student body of St. Paul to get that started. You might have some future statisticians that can help Mike
I could use some help.
at his gazingas. Gazingas. I formation for the Indians. Bradshaw at tailback, Dan at fullback. It's going to be a rollout pass. Wide open is Chandler Bradshaw.
He's got it.
Caught down at the 20, 15, and rolled out of bounds at 13. Boy, he squirted through that line of scrimmage, faked it to him, and he squirted right through. He was behind everybody. It's a great pass and clutch on the play action to start this third quarter down to the Patriot 14-yard line. Nice crowd here tonight, Mike.
It is a nice crowd. We was talking about that too. The students' body is here and the fans are here. It's a real good night for football. Up
to the line of scrimmage come the Indians, first and 10 at the West Elk 14. In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his left is Chandler Bradshaw. Here comes the snap. First and 10 for the Indian. Ball gets loose away from Albertini around the left side. Squirts around that left side. He's going to have positive yards and more. Touch. Ooh, maybe not.
Oh, he got in.
There he did. Touchdown, Indians, right inside that pylon. And, boy, I tell you what, it's been a couple errant snaps for the Indians, but Albertini able to reel him in. He really showed his speed to try to get around two defenders from the Patriots. And Albertini scores around that left side. 14-yard TD run coming off the beautiful pass and catch on the first play. 2 plays for the Indians to score start that third quarter. I'd say that's a pretty good start, Mike.
Good start. Trying to get caught up here. That was so fast I got behind already.
There's old Shocker Nation going by. Easton Dent in for the extra point. 46-6. Indians extend their lead. 11:15 left to go here in the third period. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105.
For the Indians, number 54, Ivan Murillo. For the Patriots, Loudermilk and Moreno.
Oh, welcome back to Miles Field off the St. Paul Indian touchdown. 14-yard touchdown run by Albertini. Extra point good by Dent. Indians extend their lead to 46-6. 40-point lead. Murillo with the kick. High drive and kick going to be taken about the 3-yard line by Marino. Marino takes his time, waits for blockers, starts off to the left. Oh, Wattrick misses the tackle. Now back to the right, up the middle he goes. Finally corralled by Chandler Bradshaw and Easton Dent. Not until he returns it up to the 30-yard line of West Elk. Good return by Marino. Kaiser Wadrick had a shot at him back about the 15-yard line. Missed the tackle by the young freshman.
Get some of those underclassmen some time on special teams, and that's pretty helpful. Give them some experience on the field, with especially when they're the freshman class, and they got to get out here and learn how to play varsity football, and that really helps a lot, get them on the field, those special teams.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. In the pistol is Loudermilk. To his right is Marino. Here comes the snap. Good snap. Hand off to Marino, left side. Got some running room. O'Hara trying to corral him. Gets stiff arm up around his face mask. No call. Pretty good defense as O'Hara stays with it, as he had a hand of Marino right up to the helmet of O'Hara, trying to keep space. Adam Albertini come help bring him down, but not until he gained 3. Second down and 7 as he crosses the 30 up to the 33-yard line. Is that? Yes. 33-yard line of West Elk. 10:33 left to go here in the third period. Indians lead 46-6. Second down and 7 for the Indians. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. In the pistol, all alone is Loudermilk. Marino comes in motion from right to left, fakes it, keeps it to the right side. He's got some running room. Boy, there's a hold on Albertini as he gets drove down the field. And not until Loudermilk gets a first down. Pretty good lead block on Albertini. No hold call, so they're going to let that stay clean. It'll be a first and 10 for West Elk. Down to the Indian 37-yard line. Good run by Loudermilk. Fake that reverse to Marino that they've done a couple times, and this time he kept it. Got around that left side of the Indians' defense. First and 10 down to the Indian 35-yard line. In the pistol is Loudermilk. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Hand off to Marino. He's going to come off this left-hand side and spins away from O'Hara. A nice gain on first down by Marino. He's going to gain 7. It'll be second down and 3 down to the Indian 28. Indians defense might be getting a little gassed here, Mike.
Still awfully humid out there.
Second down and 3 at the Indian 27-yard line. West Elk looked a little fresher against the Indians defense here. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Marino set to the right of Loudermilk in the pistol. Here comes the snap. Creeping up is Albertini. Ball's loose, and finally Loudermilk picks it up or gets on it. And Albertini and O'Hara, I think Stone King wrap him up. He was on his knees when he finally got on it. It sat there for a while. It's going to lose. He's going to lose about 3 yards. Third down and 6 for the Patriots from their own, or from the Indian 32-yard line. 8:30 left to go in the third. Indians lead 46-6. Third down and call it 6 to the Indian 32. Taking a long time in a huddle here. They're going to have to hustle up. See if the back judge starts. His hand is in the air. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Now the count is on. Loudermilk in the pistol. Good snap. He's going to reverse directions now. Trying to get around. Now he reverses back to the right. He's got some running room around the right side. Indians do not contain. Puts a move on Smith, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Now there's a late flag. The umpire ends up on the ground.
See what's going to happen here. They're moving chains.
Hold the sticks. You need to stay put. Well, now they're going to. I don't know if they know where they're supposed to be, but the stick started to move.
Holding, it's going to come back. Boy, that's a big one.
Holding against the Patriots, as somehow the back judge ended up on the ground. Didn't catch who that was on, but it's going to negate a nice run. The flag, it will negate a first down. The flag thrown about the 20 of the Indians. Should be a 10-yard penalty. I don't know if they know exactly where the sticks are supposed to be, because it was third down and 6. Now it's going to be third and short. It's going to negate a great run. Boy, the Indians had Loudermilk contained, but did not contain around once he cut back to the right. Looks like it's going to bring it back right to the exact same spot. So it'll stay 3rd down and 6 for the Patriots. Ball spotted back at the Indians 31. Actually, it's going to be 3rd down and 4. The line of scrimmage was the 32. Now it's the 31 after the penalty. So they gain a yard. Even after the holding penalty, it was quite a ways down the field. Taking a long time in the huddle again off the penalty. 3rd down and 4 for the Patriots at the Indians 30. 7:29 left to go here in the 3rd. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Loudermilk in the pistol. Marino set to his right. Here comes the snap on 3rd and 4. Boy, he was leaning forward. No call made. Boy, he's wrapped up by Albertini, and helmet hits the ground hard. No gain on the play. Boy, they need to watch. Loudermilk was really leaning towards the line of scrimmage before the football was even snapped. It's going to be 4th down and 5 for the Patriots. See what head coach Chris Haig dials up here on the big 4th and 5. The ball spotted at the Indians 31. 4 down territory for the Patriots. 6:48 left to go in the 3rd. Indians lead 46-6.
Talked to Coach Haig for a minute before the game, Dan, and he talked a little bit about some of the players they lost last year. But he said, I don't know how this is going to turn out. He said, I guarantee you we're going to fight. So far they've done that.
Up to the line of scrimmage they come. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In the pistol is Loudermilk. Set to his right is Marino. Look for that option out of here. And they are going to run the option to the right. Loudermilk's going to keep it. He's going to be wrapped up. Is he going to get the 1st down? He's going to be really close as he leaned forward, but I think he's about a half a yard short, I believe. Good defensive stop by the Indians, and it is going to be a change of possession. And the Indians defense hold. Boy, I give Loudermilk credit. He cut up the field, and he really stretched for that 1st down, but Indians hold him about a half yard short. It will be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball spotted at their own 25-yard line. Indians lead 46-6. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Indians in the I. Dent at fullback, Chandler Bradshaw at tailback. Hand off to Bradshaw. Right side. It's got some running room. Up the middle he goes, cuts to the middle. Still running hard is Chandler Bradshaw. Yeah. One guy turned backwards. They're going to say forward progress has stopped as the West Elk Patriots end up with a football on the ground. And they're going to give him that's a nice 25, 35, 13, 14-yard gain for Bradshaw. Ball up to the 39. Boy, it looked like Bradshaw, they ran right towards us. It looked like he had a chance to bounce outside. He elected to plant his foot, go right back up the middle. Did a good job of dragging West Elk Patriots with him. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball at their own 39. 5:44 left to go in the 3rd. Indians lead 46-6. Still in the I. Den at fullback. Bradshaw at tailback. This time it's Bradshaw off the left side. He's wrapped up quick that time. A loss of 1 on the play. Good job by the Patriots defense that time containing Bradshaw. It'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain on the play. 5:18 left to go in the 3rd. The Patriots fighting for their life here to try to extend play. If they let the Indians in the end zone, that will be the ball game.
Interesting to see if they throw that pass here. 2nd down long.
2nd down and 10 for the Indians. Ball still spotted at the 39. A bunch set to the right. Albertini, the lone set in the pistol. He's going to try the right side. Cuts back, spins away. He's going to be bottled up by a host of Patriots and brought down hard. Nowhere to go for Albertini. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Indians from their own 39.
Patriots really stiffened up here on defense this drive.
It'll be a big 3rd down and 10 for the Indians. No gain on the play. Back-to-back plays. Big 3rd down play for the Indians offense. 4:29 left to go in the 3rd. Indians lead 46-6. See what Coach Watrick dials up on 4th and 10. See if he goes right at him or if he does a little play action. It's going to be slot receiver to the left. In the backfield is Hayden Smith. Albertini's going to keep it. Bounces to the right side, outside. Now back towards the middle. Breaks a tackle. Off to the races he goes. 10-8. Drug out of bounds at the 5.
Boy, saved a score there.
That is Marino. Saves. I guess he's out of bounds at the 7, so it's going to be 1st and goal for the Indians. Good hard run by Albertini.
Give him 33 on that one.
Looks pretty fresh tonight, does Adam. He broke a tackle, got down that right sideline, tried to get past everyone, but Reno, give him credit, flings him out of bounds at the 7. How about a couple mouthfuls of Easton Dent?
This would be the spot for it down here.
First and goal from the 7, 4:04 left to go. I'm sure Coach Archer's trying to get this game done because West Elk, no one to play around with. In the pistol is Albertini, set to his left is Hayden Smith. He leans over and whispers to Smith. Bunch set. Now Albertini's going to keep it. Tries that left side. Cuts back towards the middle in the end zone. Touchdown, Indians. 7-yard touchdown run, and that's the ball game, folks. St. Paul is going to win 52-6. We'll be back with our KW Trucking post-game show after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to our KW Trucking post-game show where the Indians come out with a nice victory against West Elk here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, good night for the Indians on their home opener here, keeping the ball rolling. They're 3-0 now and looking good as they open up for a homestand here, 3 games. So you like their odds in those. You hope at home you got an advantage, and with a guy like Albertini, just about have an advantage wherever you play, but for sure at home. So we'll hope that continues, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens is right. Adam Albertini coming off another great ball game. The Indians really probably with their best game put together. West Elk, no slouch by no stretch of the imagination. They come in here 2-0, and the Indians just dominate this ball game. Yeah, West Elk, about the only momentum they had was late in that second period where they score, and then they come back and hold the Indians on defense. Had a little bit of a drive going again until the Adam Albertini pick 6 on the pass from Marino on the back pass to trying to get Loudermilk on the reverse. And Albertini picks it off and returns it for 6 points and gets the momentum right back. Indians score in 2 plays on their opening drive of the 3rd period and then turn around and hold on defense and scored in this game, Mike.
Yeah, it's a good overall game by the Indians on both sides of the ball, and so we'll look forward to them continuing that. And you got to feel good the way this came out. You know, the other important thing is you got out of here hopefully with no injuries, and we didn't see any, and hopefully that's the truth. But overall, good night. Good job by the Indians.
Good job by the Indians. Very senior-laden team for the Indians. Seniors really putting on a good start to this season here as now they roll right into district play. It's all important district play as they try to make their way back to the playoffs and try to make a good run into the playoffs. We'll see how that works out for the Indians and Coach Watrick.
Should be pretty good. Run down the first or the game total stats for St. Paul on the night, led obviously by Adam Albertini. Adam ended up with 16 carries on the ground for 224 yards rushing, 5 rushing touchdowns. Also passed for 41 yards and a touchdown. He was 2 for 3 in the air. His only touchdown pass was 15-yard reception by Easton Dent. Easton was 1 reception for 15 and a touchdown. Easton also 4 rushes for 32 yards on the night. Chandler Bradshaw had 3 rushes for 23 yards. He also had 26 yards on the nice reception on the 26-yard pass from Albertini. St. Paul in the second half had the ball twice, scored both times. That's what put this one away for the Indians. Only took them 43 seconds into the second half on the 14-yard run after the big run by Albertini. He was able to get it through there. They made the extra point. 46-6 was the score. West Elk took the ball back, trying to get themselves back in this game, but gave it up on downs after the penalty brought the big run from Moreno back, and that was really the dagger in the heart for the West Elk Patriots, because then they gave the ball up on down. St. Paul got the ball back, took advantage of it, drove the length of the field. At that point, capped off by the 7-yard touchdown run by Albertini to seal this one by the mercy rule. Final score 52-6 in favor of the Indians.
Next week, St. Paul welcomes in Colony Crest to start that district play in the districts for the Indians this year. Colony Crest at St. Paul the 27th. Altoona Midway comes to St. Paul October the 4th, and that will be homecoming. Then the Indians go back on the road to Marmonton Valley October the 11th. And Chitopa at St. Paul October the 18th and October 25th at Southern Coffee County to round the district play out. So we'll start following all the district games now as everybody finishes up their non-conference around southeast Kansas here tonight and starts working their way into the playoffs. It's going to get interesting from here, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be nonstop fun the rest of the way in. Appreciate Mr. Bagshaw taking time to talk to us at halftime. Look forward to some other guests as we go through the home season here. And appreciate all the fans and that came out and the students. The band looked good, cheerleaders looked good, everything overall looked good tonight for the Indians. So we'll hope that continues moving forward.
I want to thank all our sponsors. Title sponsor for this game and every game is Farmers Bank. Our post-game sponsor was KW Trucking. Other sponsors, Live Mentions, Labette Health, Prairie Mission, Retirement Village, St. Paul Supermarket, St. Paul Tire and Lube, Exchange State Bank, and Merle Kelly Ford. We had plenty of time to take commercials off of all the Indian scores to get all our great sponsors a lot of airtime here tonight, Mike.
That's right. And hopefully everybody enjoyed the live stream. Had a little glitch there at the beginning, but as far as I could tell, it looked like it was up and running tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that thing up too.
Knock on wood, goodness, that keeps going as we try to get things lined out here. The third game in the season. Maybe the Indians football team and we are both all getting our stride here, Mike.
Yep, should be a lot of fun going forward.
Join us next week here at Miles Field. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Mark back in the studio keeping us on the air and rolling real good here tonight. The Indians come out victorious here at the opening game at Miles Field, 52-6 over West Elk. Join us next week right here at St. Paul Miles Field, where St. Paul welcomes in Colony Crest. Will be pregame about 6:45. I want to thank everybody for joining us. You've been listening to St. Paul Football on Hot 105.